What's going on? Not much? That's cool. That's cool. If you want to dislike this video, please do that. That would be greatly appreciated. In fact, you should just hit the dislike button right now. I don't even know why the like button is there. Just please dislike this video. That would be so, just thank you. That would be great. So today I'm going to be working on a command tutorial and basically covering like all commands in general. And actually I will be doing a series on this because this has been requested so many times and I decided that I need to just follow through with it. So without further ado, let's get into the commands. Alright, so I've set up this little, stage to, present some of the most basic commands on today, but, we'll be working on a few just simple commands today. So we'll be doing fill, time and weather, set block, game rule, game mode, teleport, and clone. So that sounds like a lot of commands, but they're really, really, really basic when you finally get into it. Yeah, so those commands are the ones we'll be working on today. It shouldn't even take that long for you to understand, and I wouldn't be surprised if you knew them already coming into this tutorial, with some knowledge. And then after doing the tutorial part of each video, I'm going to be showing you little ideas of what you can do with these commands. They're just concepts. It's not like the total limitations of what you can do, but it's just showing you like the basic things that each command has to offer. So the first thing on this list is set block. So I have prepared an example here for the actual command, and the command itself is really, really simple, so we're actually just going to get right into it. So a few things to know before you even start typing anything. When you are using the chat box to type your commands, because we don't really need to use command blocks for this video since nothing is getting too complicated yet, you would want to do /setBlock, but if you look here, as soon as I start typing with a slash and then any sort of letter, I can get all of these options ready, and if you just press tab, you can immediately fill your command. And if you just press tab a few more times, you can actually fill in the whole block's coordinates that you're looking at. Or you can choose to use your own coordinates. So tildes mark your own position in the world. Or you could use carets, which actually mark specifically directional, and we'll get into those later, but those are a little bit more complicated. Or you can use your own coordinates. I'm going to enter in just the coordinates for the block that I'm looking at. Then I want to choose any random block, but in this case I'm going to do redstone block. But if I set this to a redstone block, then it'll power my system and all of my dispensers will fire out things. In this case they were cocoa beans. But that's one example of how set block could work. And a few other examples could be like you'd have a block trail just following right behind you, or like an anvil trap where you click a button and it sets an anvil as the block above you or something, or even like a target that honestly anything. Like you can do anything with commands, and even just setting a block is really versatile. It's just not commonly used in maps as much. So moving on to the next feature, we have /fill, which is in building. It's super useful in building things, like this house. This house would have taken me a lot longer to make if I didn't have the command /fill. Although, if you're on a server or even just on your own, you should download World Edit because that makes everything so much faster. And there's tutorials on how to use that out there. I'm not going to do one. But there's a lot of cool things you can do with /fill. So, for instance, let's say I wanted to change the color of this window using /fill. So what you would do is you would want to select this block like you would using set block. You would want to grab those coordinates, which would be -405, 65, 121, and then you would want to grab the corner of the other side that you want to fill. So say you have this space that you want to fill. You want to make a 4x4 cube, but you don't want to have to place 64 blocks just to make one. You want to be able to do it really fast. All you would have to do is grab the corner of one side and then press enter, and it's going to say you have an unknown or incomplete command. And that is not a problem because it is right, but once you get this other corner, by just pressing space and tab 3 more times, you can fill the selection with whatever you want. So let's say I wanted warped planks. I think that's what these are. Then it would fill this entire thing with warped planks, and now you can see it's solid, and in the chat it says filled 62 blocks. So I could do the same sort of thing with these windows over here and just set them to, I don't know, let's say lime stained glass. And then we have lime stained glass panes in conjunction with our gray stained glass. So that's just one use of it. There's so many things you can do with /fill. It is honestly one of my probably most used commands besides /execute, but that doesn't really count. But moving on, we have our next command, which is significantly more easy than all of the other ones, or our next two commands, /time and /weather. So /time is really just, I mean, it's what it says. So /time, say you want it to be night, you would do /time set, and now they actually have this interesting thing where you can type either the word for the time of day that you would want it to be, or you can set it to a specific number. One Minecraft day is 24,000 ticks, which is 24,000 ticks. One tick, there are 20 ticks in 1 second. So it's, if you break that down and do the math, I'm going to make it simple, and it's just 20 minutes. So one Minecraft day is 20 minutes. But say you want it to be the middle of the night. So you would have to figure out what the time in ticks would be, or you could just do /time set midnight. But in reality, the actual time would be 1800, because you would have to do 24,000 divided by 4 to get your 4 different periods of time: start of the day, noon, evening, and midnight. And you would get 1800. Just, I mean, it's really just 6 times 3. If this doesn't make much sense to you, that's totally okay. A lot of these things you just want to mess around with, and once I can kind of teach you them, maybe it'll be a little bit more easy for you to understand. The other one, /time add, just adds a couple ticks, seconds, or days, which is D, S, and T. D is in Minecraft days, so you would be actually advancing the game 100 days in Minecraft if that's what you wanted to do for some reason. And the ticks and seconds are, ticks are really precise, and seconds are a little bit less precise because there's 20 ticks in 1 second, but it's still precise enough for time, because you're not really going to be setting the time to anything like super specific, I assume. So yeah, say we wanted this house to be, like, feel more cozy. We could have it be the middle of the night, and then it's, like, all lit up and peaceful or something. And weather, same kind of thing. There's literally 3 options for weather. There's clear, rain, and thunder. You can guess what those do. And then you can also add a duration for how long you would want it to be thunderstorming for. Thunderstorming. God, that's a word. So yeah, you could set it, I don't know, however long you want. You could have a 5-second thunderstorm or a day-long thunderstorm. I mean, it's up to you. I don't really mess with that much. So next, moving on, we have slash game rule. Slash game rule is actually really fun because, I mean, there's so many things you can do with it, but I'm not really going to go into any of the specific things that slash game rule does because there's so many things that I could go through. You should mess around with it if you want, but some of the main, like, because there's so much stuff you can do with game rule, but some of the main things you want to focus on for like starting up a world or something like that is so we have do fire tick, which basically makes it so fire can't spread if you set it to false. So if you have one pool of lava or something next to a tree, it's not going to catch on fire. Or you can have do weather cycle or daylight cycle, both of which I always set to false in my worlds when I'm building. And I usually keep it on false because that makes it so that it won't rain if it's not raining, and the sky won't progress any further, so it would always stay this time of day. So you notice how, like, the moon has just been up there at midnight for the past couple minutes while I've been talking. It's just gonna stay there like that. You've also got the ones I always do when I first start on a world, or now there's even a feature which allows you to set your game rules before you even enter the world, which is really useful. I always set random tick speed to 0 and do mob spawning to false, because random tick speed makes it so that the game either moves really fast or really slow. And what I mean by that is, say you set it to 0, you will no longer have things growing. So like if you put a cactus down on with one block of cacti, or one block of cactus, I don't know, I'm really not good with words today, it won't grow. But if you set it to game rule random tick speed 1000, it's gonna grow really fast. So random tick speed 0 is really useful for preserving the initial look of any like natural thing that you've grown or something like that. And do mob spawning really just makes it so mobs don't spawn, so you're not getting interrupted in your world. Like right now I have it on no mob spawning, and as you can see, nothing in this world is spawning. I mean, there's not a single mob here, besides me, I guess. So basically that's it for slash game rule, and there are so many things you want to mess around with, especially with this one, because they're just super useful. Like, all of the different game rules have their own function, but I can't go through all of them. In the next video, I'm actually going to be showing off game mode and shortcuts for that, the fill command, teleport, and most importantly, clone, which is super easy. Fill will be going into further depth because we already covered that in this video. But we didn't go into the more fun features that Phil has to offer. And as for the other things, I hope you have a great day. Please dislike this video and stay tuned for a part 2 for this series. And actually I have a plan for like a lot of different parts. I've already got everything set up, and I'm just going through a lot of recording and editing right now. So that's why I'll be releasing each part separately in little bits. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Dislike again, remember, dislike. And leave a comment if you have any questions. Thank you so much, and have a great day.